G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are going to do our tips for the preliminary final week 3 of the finals, mates, and some pretty exciting games coming up, and an upset last week, and expected result. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, mate, it's the supporters' week, isn't it? Prelim finals round. It's basically the best atmosphere you can ask for. Generally, the biggest crowds and the full supporters. Of course, the grand final, you get quite a few corporates rolling in, but
Bastards.
it's arguably the best week in the footy for the year.
Well, look at that. So we'll move
I
on.
am excited.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I'm very looking forward to it. Looking at the first game, we got the Cats and the Swans Friday night, MCG, 8 o'clock, big atmosphere. It's going to be huge, mate, and yeah, can't wait for it. The Cats got the Hawks done in the first final by 3 points. Sorry, 2 points. I marked that up on the video as well. Previous, so well, it was 3 points until Isaac Smith missed. And Sydney, they had a bit of a shaky start against the Giants, and they were brilliant against the Crows, and won the game they were expected to win. So big game. What do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely big game, and we ripped into it in the preview, as you alluded to there. Plenty in-depth thoughts, but I probably expect this one to be a bit of a lower scoring affair. I reckon. I just get the feeling that it could be one of those games where, in particular, the first half is a real slug and a tug of war of tough bodies inside battling it out, and then it might break open. But I mean, I'm going to go with Geelong. I think just for all the reasons I say on the preview, just perhaps fitness list available, coming off a week off and hopefully being fresh. And I think even just on the exposed form of late, I feel we're certainly rivaling them, if not slightly better. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we, mate? It'll be a tough encounter against probably the best contested ball side in the league, maybe behind the Dogs. But yeah, I'll tip Geelong by 16 points. I think it'll be pretty hard fought, but I do feel that we've been building pretty well throughout the year, and they've shown a good ability to beat the top sides. So hopefully that reigns true Friday night.
I hope you're right, mate. I'm tipping the Swans here by 14 points. Yeah, look, I think Sydney just have that class outfit and their ability to win the ball on the inside. And I think our game plan with the way we play at times, we can make Sydney look really good, which isn't what we like. But yeah, they have a few outs, most likely, and a few key outs potentially. I just don't think it will come down to personnel as much, and I hope the Cats can prove me wrong. But I just think that the way they play and their style of play will counteract the way we want to play. And as we saw, it was largely in the Hawks' term in the first final. It was just a matter of them not converting properly, or as well, or maybe our defence doing a good job. Who knows there? I just think Sydney have been the best side all year, and I just expect them to bounce back from their very poor performance in week 1 and make a grand final. But going to be very tough, and either side can win. But things going for us is we've got the week off. We've had the week off and probably played 2 games in 4 weeks, and the list is pretty fresh, as you said, overall, and with the weeks off we've had, and Sydney not so. But I just think they'll perhaps get us here, mate. Very tough game to pick. Could go either way.
Yeah, for sure, as you expect in the prelim final, definitely, mate. Yeah.
Well, unless you're Geelong and Collingwood in 2007. But the Giants have a date with the Dogs at Spotless Stadium. Let's talk about controversial stadiums and giving GWS every chance to make it to a grand final and win one. The Giants, they got the job done over Sydney. They trounced them early, and they were impressive, most certainly impressive against the Swans. And they've had a bit of a break and a bit of a breather, and the Dogs were inspirational over the last 2 weeks. They beat the Hawks, have knocked them out, they've ruined their era, or they've ended their current era anyway. Not saying the Hawks can't bounce back next year, mate, but the Dogs are fantastic, and you certainly can't rule them out. I mean, everyone's ruled them out the last 2 weeks, but I don't know how everyone's going to fit over there.
Yeah, very interesting game because you've probably got two sides that maybe we didn't expect to be there. We maybe thought they were next year's team to beat in a way, or over the next few years, two young developing sides, and perhaps in the early stages of their upward curve, but one of them might reach a grand final before their time, as they say. But your time doesn't always come round as you expect, so when you're there, you want to make it count. And I'm going to lean towards the Giants here. I think Spotless Stadium is an underrated home ground advantage. People talk about WA and Adelaide and Simmons and all these fortresses. It's a massive advantage for them, and they play the ground so well, as was evident when they smashed the Hawks by, 75 points in the year. So
spot on.
When they get rolling, they do the job, and I think they beat the Dogs there this year as well. But as you mentioned, mate, we can't discount Western Bulldogs because they've played outstanding football. I guess one side of the argument is, have they been playing their grand final every week for the last couple of weeks? Are they going to eventually tire, or are they the form side of the competition? We often talk about the winner of the grand final is, in hindsight, the form side of the last 5, 6, 7 weeks. And as though the Doggies ended the season poorly, you could argue they're in as good a form as anyone and will take some beating. So I am going to go the Giants. I do think they're the slightly better side, even though the Dogs were unbelievable against the Hawks. And I just think the travel factor, plus the Dogs have been just up mentally and physically the last 2 weeks. I'm tipping maybe a slight layoff in that, and I'm going to go the Giants to make the grand final.
Well, we made Geelong Cats and Giants grand final for you, so look, I'm going to tip towards the Giants as well, mate. I don't want it to be an all-Sydney grand final because that would just make the AFL cream in their dacks and they'll be licking their lips. So let's hope they don't get what they want. Look, the Giants are a very accomplished and classy outfit. They play Spotless Stadium fantastically. I think they've only lost 2 games there this year. They lost to the Pies and also the Eagles, which was a last hurrah, amazing miracle win. So you could argue very tough to beat them there. And the Dogs obviously lost to them earlier in the year. Look, I think the Giants, if they get on the inside, and they're a good inside team as well, they've got some of the best runners in the in the league, to be able to carry it, whether it's in the midfield or from their defensive 50 to their forward 50. The way they run in waves, as you often hear the experts say, is quite incredible, and that's what allows them to be a force. Stevie J out, mate, which we didn't quite allude to, is going to be a reasonably big out for the Giants, but I don't think he'll be. Well, you could argue game was won or lost on him because he could kick 3 or 4 goals in a final. So glad he got that week because he deserved it, and I think anyone that does that act deserves at least a week. So I'm glad they're consistent with the MRP readings there. But look, I can't discount the Dogs either, mate. They've been absolutely brilliant. I do feel like they're like the Tigers of 2014, where they won 9 in a row. I think they might just fall short here. They've played 2 amazing games and have been up. And I think they'll be exhausted, to be honest. The Giants have had a week off, so they should be a bit fresher. But you certainly can't count them out at all. They could win the flag, to be honest. I mean, they were $51 going to that West Coast Eagles game, and I thought about it. And now it's all into $6. So they're every chance, mate. And they've got the Dogs have got the capabilities too. If they win the ball on the inside, they've got the best hands in the league, just giving quick gives and distributing it from there. So. Look, I think the Giants maybe at the better list and maybe a bit better in this situation, but they're both pretty inexperienced finals-wise. More so the Doggies, but anything could happen, mate. But I'm going to go the Giants by 10 points. Who knows?
You expect to be close, and no surprise that both these games were pretty tough to separate, and you could definitely make great cases for all 4 clubs to not only win these games, but win the flag. And that's probably what's been great about this year. And there's definitely going to be some keen eyes on this weekend because, they genuinely could go either way. So it's what they want in footy, and we've got it. Really good weekend of footy coming up.
100% spot on there, mate. So that wraps up the tips from Shorty and myself. Don't forget to give the video a like. Don't forget to comment your tips as well, and so you stack up against the best in the business. Far from that, unfortunately, but yeah, don't forget to chuck in your tips. Don't forget to share it around and subscribe as well. It'd be fantastic. And yeah, subscribe for more. That'd be great. Thanks for hanging around for our tips, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.